Mr. Erdogan has tried to stay out of this war. However much he has signaled his distaste or contempt for Israel and what it's doing, he's tried to keep the Turks out of the war. He's very sensitive to the economy for good reasons. Turkish economy is fragile. They've had a lot of problems with their currency. They're very dependent on the largesse from Qatar and other Muslim states. However, Mr. Erdogan has had some difficult sessions with his National Defense Council. And he knows that if the Israelis move into Lebanon, that will destabilize Lebanon. Now, it's also important that your viewers know something else about us and Israel. We have been preparing forces in Syria to attack Turkey. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Kurds primarily. The MEK and other organizations, PPK, they have been encouraged to arm up and conduct direct assaults over the Turkish border into Turkey. The Turks know this, and they're very upset about it. And we've done this periodically in the past. This time, it's gotten very serious. So as a result, you've seen Arab tribesmen, very well armed, assault our bases in Syria. I don't know what the current status is. I'm not hearing very much through the mainstream media about it, but I suspect that they've had some success. I'd be surprised if we have not had casualties. My understanding is that they're currently in control of the oil facilities. At the same time, the Russians have built a new base in northern Syria, and they're not interested in seeing us remain in that country in a position from which we could direct action against them. So you have a larger war already developing, and the Israelis are part of it, we're part of it, and the Turks are on the brink of admitting to this and going public with it. But if they go public with it in a rather major way, the demand of the Turkish population will be to attack. And that's something Erdogan still does not want.
Here's the follow-up from the Turkish foreign minister, which is even more bellicose than the clip we ran, cut number 5.
The country has lost all its moral superiority in this geography because of the Israeli issue. Therefore, in this new light, in this period when the international system has lost all its norms and rules, diplomatic cooperation and constructive cooperation between Egypt, Turkey, and other countries have become even more important in establishing regional peace. Because the collapse of the international system is now an equation, we, as the powers of the region, as a country, are trying to truly embrace the issue and do everything we can together in the name of peace, in the name of stability.
And said that the Turkish military is competent and commendable.
Well, I think those are accurate terms. The Turks are very proud of their country. They're a martial people. I think the average Turkish soldier is a very tough and formidable opponent. Now, I don't know how much experience they have with large unit operations, but it would be a mistake to underestimate the Turks in any case. Now, are they likely to come in quickly? I think that's not the case because we have not yet seen the war explode onto the scene against Hezbollah. If Hezbollah becomes decisively engaged by the Israelis, then I think we're going to see some movement from the Turks. The Turks are also sensitive to the fact that the region that he's in Syria, Jordan, the Arabian Peninsula, all the way to Egypt, this is historically Turkey's sphere of influence. It's not historically Iran's sphere of influence. Yet the Iranians have taken the lead for the Islamic countries to oppose Israel. And this is uncomfortable. The Turks really feel that they are the once and future kings of Islam. After all, the last first caliph of Islam, or genuine caliph of Islam, was the Turkish Sultan. Since then, there's been none. That is in the backs of people's minds. Now, how far will the Turks go? Well, if you're a Syrian, you have mixed feelings because Syria was a province of the Ottoman Empire. And the Turks tend to view most of the territory, certainly from Kirkuk in Iraq north, and all of Syria, Jordan, and these areas, and Israel itself, as part of their sphere of influence. So they have mixed feelings, but things are desperate. The Arab states are desperate. They fear all sorts of things. Arabs are expressing the view that the Israelis want to conquer the Suez Canal and control it. Whether or not that's true is hard to tell. I think it's unlikely, but the Israelis did seize a portion of it in 1956 when the British and the French intervened in Egypt. The point is there is more than just a little concern. And the elites, as we've talked about before, General Sisi, King Abdullah in Jordan in particular, on very shaky ground. Those men know that their lives hang in the balance and they could be gone at any point in time because their populations are enraged. The Turks are enraged. The one place where people are not as enraged, interestingly enough, is Iran. And the Iranian leadership, despite whatever you may hear publicly, desperately wants to avoid a war with Israel, primarily because they don't want to go to war with us.